We welcome you to pre-show action in IWC's Night of Legends DVD. Joe Dombrowski joined my oftentimes colleague here in Franklin, Pennsylvania. He is the esteemed mayor of parts unknown, the master of the filibuster. He's Mayor Mystery.
Joe, you know, it's great to be back here in the IWC. Great to be at Night of Legends. With the exception of having to sit next to you, I'm really looking forward to this night.
We're going to start things out with a bang with a Super Indy 9 qualifying round matchup between two men that took each other to their limit about a month ago in Clearfield.
I mean, this is a pre-show, but I tell you what, this match right here could steal the show, actually. Looking over the card tonight. You know, as I was saying, I think this match could actually end up stealing the show. Pre-shows only because there's so much talent on this card. I really don't think that's any indication of the talent of the guys who are out right now, that's for sure.
Absolutely, upwards of 10 or so bona fide professional wrestling legends are here on hand in Franklin. Our biggest legend show to date. It just keeps getting bigger every year we're here, and you can say the same thing about this crowd.
That's true. I mean, it's hard to even walk through these halls right now because there's just so many fans out to see IWC, see all the legends.
It's Michael Abominable Facade, the suburban terrorist, the graffiti artist, taking on Justin Idol, one half of the sexual harassment tag team. These two men battled to a 15-minute time limit draw a month ago in Clearfield, Pennsylvania at Clearfield Cataclysm. This is the rematch. We wanted to see one of these athletes qualify to Super Indy 9 on May 8th. And of course, Super Indy traditionally every year, one of the biggest tournaments in professional wrestling with the Super Indy tournament crown at stake.
Just like just like the Night of Legends, Super Indy keeps getting better and better each year too. Wouldn't you agree, Joe?
That's right. It's a chance for any man in that tournament to become the Super Indy champion. Of course, the champion currently is the Super Indy Innovator Super Hentai. Facade hits the outside first, tries to keep his balance, and is still on the apron.
That's right. Do you have a prediction here, Joe?
I can't call it either way. I was there ringside to watch Facade and Idol battle to no conclusion. We know Idol went to the finals of Super Indy 8 a year ago, and that was a two-day tournament. Facade really stepped it up last year as well when he took Elijah Burke to his limit, now known as the Pope, and the Quebrada, the in-ring moonsault, gets two.
You can't make a prediction. Grow a spine, Joe. I think, does that have anything to do with the fact that these are two fan favorites out there?
I think it's great to see two fan favorites battling for a spot in Super Indy 9.
I think it's horrible.
Idol gets the foot up in the corner. Idol, part of the most decorated tag dynasty in IWC history. That big sexual harassment. Facade, a former co-holder of the tag titles in his own right. Sunset flip. Idol rolls through and whammy kablammy. Wow. Right to the face. And that's a near fall. Idol almost had a second chance at winning a Super Indy tournament.
He almost did indeed, but now he's got Facade down. He just needs to stay on him. He needs to stop arguing with the ref.
Certainly with Idol in the ring, you think about Eric Ecstasy, still on the outside looking in, suffering the effects of a concussion he sustained late last January at kickoff. Idol with a high angle back suplex, right to the back of the neck, cover, and another near fall.
You know, Eric Ecstasy's faking that, right?
Well, we're going to see Eric Ecstasy next week on the road to Super Indy 9, and the rumors have it Ecstasy will announce his retirement from professional wrestling.
Well, I have more than rumors. I have a good source who tells me he's faking the concussion thing.
Oh. Never doubt a politician's sources, right?
Why would I make that up?
Idol kicking away right to the short ribs of Michael Facade. Constricts the breathing of the bomber. Idol could go a quick pace, as can the bomber. There's no clear-cut speed advantage here. Facade is a little more younger, a little more aerial, but Idol has the resourcefulness. And watch the bomber up and over. Facade and Idol know these opportunities are few and far between. Idol's had one Super Indy title shot since Super Indy 8. Facade can say the same. It did not come easy.
Joe, other than their match a few weeks ago, how many times have these guys squared off in IWC? Are they old rivals? You know the history of IWC better than I do.
We've seen them in tag team competition before, but singles, I believe each man is new to this in IWC as far as with each other. Facade took that gi off. That means he's ready to finish this thing off, but I think Idol has other ideas.
Idol needs to be paying closer attention to his opponent. It's the second time.
Facade walks the top rope and connects with a drop kick.
See what happens when you lose focus.
Right you are, now springs in with the leg drop. Facade brings off the second rope. Nice bulldog takedown.
Nice indeed. I think he's going back up, Joe.
Could be time for the Arabian Moonsault. Beautiful form. Facade is going to Super Indy. No, he's not yet. Near fall situation, and you can see both these men don't want another time limit draw. They're going proverbially balls to the wall in the opening of this matchup. They don't want the clock to work against them tonight.
That's for sure. I mean, both of these guys are true competitors. As much as I dislike, another nice move there. As much as I dislike each of them, and they know what's at stake. A shot at Super Indy. So you're seeing the very best from two of the very best.
Idol with the cover and almost had him. Beautiful form on the sit-out gourd buster by Idol. Followed through with another strike with the leg right upside the head of the Suburban Terrorist. And Idol is signaling this could be end. Could be the Idolizer. Could be the Spirit Crusher. Idol trying to get Facade in position. Spirit Crusher coming up, but Facade backdrops his way free.
Oh, that's it. That's got to be it.
Nobody home in the corner. Facade, the O'Connor roll. Will it take him to Super Indy? No. But beautiful adjustment in mid-move, in mid-motion by the Bomber to take down Idol.
That's the big difference I see in this match so far, Joe, is Facade is staying on Idol. Facade is not toying with the rabbit.
The springboard swanton, but Idol was not there. Idol was a step ahead, and Idol is now setting up for the Spirit Crusher.
Oh!
Facade is driven down hard on the back of the neck. Just in Idol's hand.
I called it, just like I called it.
Well, it took him 2 matches to get there. The second battle with Facade, we saw a decisive winner. You got to give it up for Facade, though, for holding in the fight as long as he has in this road to Super Indy glory.
And now the big question, what do you think Idol's chances are in Super Indy? Getting there is only half the battle, Joe.
Idol made it to the finals last year, and it was our biggest tournament in history, 12 men. When once we hear word of the specifics of this year, it may be the same, it may be worse, we don't know. But Justin Idol's prepared. He could taste it a year ago, and he has a chance to go back. Super Indy 9 could be Justin Idol's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, all contestants in Super 1 ball, it has a 20-minute time limit. Introducing to you first, making his way to the ring from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing at 215 pounds, Logan Shulo.
Outside of the ring, Logan Shulo is a rock star. Hell, he's practically the whole rock show. Logan Shulo has channeled that part of his personality into his professional wrestling and has more confidence and more success than ever before. But why does he need a mic stand?
He needs a mic stand because he's a rock star. That's what rock stars, they need things like guitars, mic stands. Stupid question.
Not for a wrestling match, however, but Shulo takes the energy of guys like Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, all the other great rock stars of our past, and use it to energize himself in action. Jimmy Vegas was the first ever 2-time IWC champion. You talk about legends, Vegas has defeated Raven, the Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, CM Punk, and withstood an onslaught from Jerry the King Lawler that would have crippled most men. Jimmy Vegas is back to not just be a part of IWC's past, but indeed its present and future as well.
And Shulo and Vegas have had a couple of problems in recent months. They've split matches in their past 2 meetings.
Yeah, but I think Logan Shulo's got this one. Cakewalk.
Well, Logan Shulo has the youth on his side, but not much more here. Vegas is very well put together, always has been. A lot of power, a lot of upper body mass. And
I'll give Vegas that. He does have the advantage in the strength department, but really that's about it. Like you said, Logan Shulo channels the spirit, the power of guys like Jimi Hendrix. Come on. Jimi Hendrix is practically in his corner.
Well, that is true, and certainly we've seen the energy and influence those individuals have had on pop culture and on the musical world. Will it translate into the world of professional wrestling?
Of course, that's another stupid question, Joe.
I'm sorry to hear that. And Vegas with the arm drag takedown. We've seen Vegas here in Franklin in years prior. Who could forget his run-ins with Bubba the Bulldog in the past?
Those were some classic battles. And speaking of Franklin, one thing that I kind of forgot about, but now I'm remembering being back here. Well, 2 things actually. The smell, of course, and also the stupidity of these fans. They're actually cheering Jimmy Vegas and booing Logan Shulo. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Imagine freedom of expression. Imagine that.
I can't get my mind around that concept.
Is that how you act when it comes to be election time and parts unknown?
Wouldn't you like to know? Oh, now there's an example of that power. Like I said, I'm no Jimmy Vegas fan, but I gotta give credit where it's due, and he certainly has some power.
Vegas with the armbar. You don't agree with a lot about Franklin, do you?
No, not much at all.
You're a regular old maverick, aren't you?
That's right. Don't you forget it.
That's somebody else, maybe. Never mind. Vegas with the armbar. And Vegas is grounding Shulo. Shulo caught Vegas off guard a month ago in Clearfield when he took that mic stand and drove it right into the face, the throat, the jaw.
No. He was trying to have Vegas audition to be in his band.
You weren't even in the building.
I saw the tape.
Oh.
And not the DVD, the tape. I saw the tape.
Oh, I see.
On beta.
Yeah, really. Well, I can tell you the beta didn't come from Tony F at dhvideos.com, that's for sure. Shulo pounding away on Vegas in the corner.
Look at that ref. What an idiot.
What's wrong with the official?
He's giving Logan Shulo a hard time. He should be honored to be in the ring with a guy like Logan Shulo. Just like all these refs better be honored to be in the ring with these legends tonight.
I assume the official has a nagging wrist injury since he has a tape, but other than that, I don't see any problem with him at all. He's calling the match as he sees them. An authority figure calling things fairly. And again, some notes, Mr. Mayor, you can take.
Enough of your commentary there, Dombrowski.
Shulo missed with a kick. Roll up by Vegas, almost had it.
A little bit of a fast count.
Vegas has got to be in the best shape I've seen him in about 3 to 5 years. But watch Shulo. If Shulo can defeat Vegas in this shape now, he's done something. Shulo rolls through the step over toe hold and bridging back, and all the weight of Shulo is bending Vegas's ankle and lower leg in a direction it's not meant to go.
That's the kind of move that can do permanent damage right there.
And there you see Shulo just soaking in that energy, soaking in that atmosphere.
He's trying to take one of the wheels off the big guy Vegas. I think it's a pretty wise strategy if you ask me.
It's a very smart strategy, but look at Vegas bridging up. Again, that power coming into advantage. And he gets to the rope, does Vegas, and Shulo forced to break before 5.
It looks like Shulo's going up top, and you know what? That might be another smart strategy against a bigger, stronger opponent. Take his leg out and then go for the air. I mean, I gotta like Shulo's strategy overall.
Shulo, beautiful compact missile drop kick. All impact.
And he's no small man, Dombrowski. He really got some air. You know, this Logan Shulo is one of the true rising stars, not just in the IWC.
But cover and no.
But in all of wrestling, if you ask me.
Shulo's about 6'3" or 4. He's got very underrated agility. Near fall in the ring. Shulo has all the athletic tools to get to the top in time, but he is still rather inexperienced. Only a couple years under his belt, if that.
I think I just heard Vegas give up.
He did not.
I have good ears. I don't think you can hear it. I heard it, Joe.
I don't see any ears on you. I see a mustache.
It's real.
Vegas trying to get back to the vertical base, cut off some of this leverage of Shulo.
No, is this fair? The fans are all clapping to try to give Jimmy Vegas some energy, some inspiration. They were not doing the same thing whenever Vegas was on top and Logan Shulo was on the receiving end of some of that punishment. Not fair.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Not fair.
Shulo trying to ground Vegas and dictate this pace.
By 5 minutes.
Here's the time check by ring announcer Chuck Roberts, also the owner of this organization.
That's
so I'd watch what you say.
That's right. Chuck and I get along just fine.
Oh.
He's not going to hear this tape, is he?
Well, he'll hear the DVD. I don't know about the tape.
Crap.
Shulo sends Vegas into the corner. Great agility by the big man. Vegas is about 270, but you wouldn't tell by the way he's moving right now, the double knees. Full Nelson slam. Vegas has some momentum. Cover 2-0.
You know, I thought Vegas would be a lot more injured. It looks like he is favoring that leg a little bit, but after the number that Shulo did on him earlier, I'm surprised Vegas is actually still able to walk.
Well, Vegas has great versatility. And it's no knock on Shulo that Vegas is to his feet. But Vegas has a point to prove here. And a back suplex by Vegas takes Shulo down. Vegas wants to be back in potential IWC title contention, which of course, you gotta look at Jimmy DeMarco, Shiima, Xion, Leroux, all the way on top of that tier. Vegas wants to be on that same level as he gets a near fall.
Well, a win here would certainly be a large step towards that. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Vegas will go 2-1 in this series, and Shulo got to be the fastest rising young star in IWC. Already has a qualifying spot for Super Indy 9 this May, and a beautiful DDT as well. 2-0.
I would call Logan Shulo one of the favorites in Super Indy, to be honest.
You don't even know who's in it other than 2 or 3 people.
I know more than you.
Oh. Shulo survived a 3-way match to qualify, and there you see Channeling Hendricks a little maybe, and drives down with a boot.
Oh.
And Shulo collided with the official.
It was an accident.
I'm not so sure. I don't know about that.
That was clearly an accident. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You'd hope it
ring
was.
the bell. Ring the bell.
Because he's screwing himself out of this match if it wasn't an accident.
Well, can we rewind the tape and show the ref? That was clearly a 3 count.
Oh, no, and now we see what Shulo's done.
The match is over. He wants to sing with Vegas. What's wrong with that?
Shulo found an opening to get the mic stand in there. And now he's going to do a number on Vegas. Vegas ducks. Mic stand in the hands of Jimmy
Vegas
now.
is using a foreign object.
To the midsection.
Good, disqualified.
To the back. No, the official's up.
All right.
No, not like that.
Yes, some justice. Some justice.
Absolutely not. A miscarriage of justice here.
Logan Shulo was trying to get Vegas to sing. Vegas stole the mic stand.
The winner of this bout, as a result of the disqualification, Logan Shulo.
All right. Justice is served at Frank.
Logan Shulo gets a cheap win to go up 2-1 in the series. He can't be proud about that. There's nothing decisive about that.
Chief, he won the match 1, 2, 3. You saw that. He tried to sing. He wanted Vegas to sing. Vegas stole the mic stand and attacked him with it. Vegas should be banned from the IWC.
Logan Shulo victorious. Here tonight over Jimmy Vegas under questionable means. His mic stand's broken, but his win-loss record is improved here at the Night of Legends. Logan Shulo wins. What is this? The alleged billion-dollar man chest flexor.
I'm out here. I paid for this time because I'm a $1 billion man.
Give me a break. He had $39 of stuff on, including his watch.
I'd like to let everybody see.
Why would he lie?
We're about to promote my limited edition t-shirt. They're on sale over at the table. I bought a spot, and now $5, not $5, it's $20. You shut up! All right, relax. First up, ladies and gentlemen, if you would have waited, if you would have asked me, I would have introduced you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the manager of the $1 billion Bone Breakers. Please give a nice applause and warm welcome for Chest Flexor.
And you don't have to buy a spot at the merchandise table. What an idiot.
How would you know?
Now, Chest Flexor. If you were on IWCWrestling.com last week, then you would have seen the contract signing. Do you remember that? I was there. Yeah, well, in that contract signing, I didn't see anything about you selling t-shirts. I bought this painting on the table for the t-shirts. Okay, how about this? I will allow you to sell t-shirts over there if you do something for me. What do you want to do? What do you want to do for me? Please.
Oh, no.
Here's what I want for you to do for me. I'd like for you to wrestle tonight. You want to wrestle tonight, Flexor?
Oh,
All right, wrestle. Let me go to the back.
Chuck sending Norm to do errands. My other time's changed. Chest Flexor in an impromptu matchup here tonight. We don't know his opponent. We'll find out in a minute.
Well, you hear the music. It's Kato.
Kato on his way to the ring, and he's not a guy that's endeared himself to much of anybody himself.
Now this is going to be a match, Dombrowski. Wow.
A match Chest Flexor didn't know he was having, and as the head of the $1 Billion Bone Breakers in our main show later tonight, he's got to pull some double duty and go one-on-one with Kato.
Well, I can understand why he's upset, because he came out here to talk about those. Did you see that teaser? That's incredible. He should be charging $500–600.
It's ridiculous. Did you see the contract signing on IWC.com?
Yes.
He brought some schmuck and named him Virgil. Give me a break.
Good guys, this is what the good guys do.
Well, I think Kato going with the flow. I don't think he's in his comfort zone.
No. I don't know the last time or ever I hear the fans actually applauding Kato.
Kato said he was a good guy. He may be cheered here. That doesn't make him a good guy, but certainly Chest Flexor has raised the ire of everybody here tonight by doing what you don't do, disrespecting a legend, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
Well, you never disrespect a legend, I agree, but Chest Flexor is a legend in his own right. So
In his own mind.
He kind of has earned that right. He's earned it both with his reputation and his checkbook, if you know what I mean. He's got $1 billion.
He does not.
He's got more than that, actually.
Where's he get? Well, he does have a lot of money from his mafia dealings in the past with a family. But I think we're finding out a little more about Chest Flexor than we may have wanted to. I knew this day would come, but I didn't think it'd be here.
You know, these are two of the top stars in the business, that's for sure. But look,
are you kidding me?
Oh, come on.
The $1 Billion Man.
He's got more than $1 billion.
Half the match he's been unconscious before the match has started.
It happened.
Oh. I remember last year at Legends, he snuck on the show dressed as Kimchi. Who in the hell would own a Kimchi suit?
Lots of people, probably.
Oh, please.
How do you know he didn't actually borrow that from the real Kimchi?
Yeah, please.
There's only one Kimchi.
Well, it's not Chest Flexor all these years, I'll tell you that.
Look at that ref getting involved in the match.
I'd like to see that referee in a mask myself. But watch Flexor go downstairs. That's intelligence money can't buy.
He doesn't need to buy intelligence. He's a brilliant guy.
Oh, I can tell by the haircut. Does he not realize that Ted DiBiase took all this paraphernalia off before his match started? What's he doing still wearing it?
Well, you're trying to act like he's a ripoff of DiBiase or something. Just because DiBiase took his stuff off doesn't mean Chest Flexor has to.
He's got set signs on his body. He looks like Nikolai Volkov, for goodness sakes.
I don't think most people would look at Chest Flexor and in any way think $1 Million Man or $1 Million Man insult, $1 Million Man ripoff. It's pure coincidence they're facing each other tonight. And I would say, I mean, objectively, DiBiase's a legend, but Flexor is probably, at this stage in his career, a bigger legend nationally.
You're a Republican, aren't you? Listen to this spin.
No comment.
Chest Flexor in control of Kato right now. Or as always, we could channel another legend in Lord Alfred Hayes and call him Kato. But Flexor choking away something Mayor Mystery might do.
I would never cheat.
I'm interested in what exactly you're doing here tonight. There's nobody from Parts Unknown on this show.
No, but Lord Zoltan has a summer home in Parts Unknown.
Well, hopefully you'll keep your business there with Chest Flexor, with the 8-man tag, and nowhere else. And Flexor is taking his pants off.
Don't get too excited, Dombrowski.
Choking him with that leather belt.
What? I don't see that.
Right across the throat.
That ref needs to settle down a little bit. I know that much.
And too bad Virgil's not out here to add some interference too, huh?
Yeah,
you got nothing. You got nothing to Virgil. Please.
I think you're making this Virgil stuff up.
I wish I was. Believe me, I wish I was.
I'd like to see the $1 Billion Man one-on-one with the $1 Million Man now that you bring it up.
Oh, now that Ted DiBiase's been retired for about 17 years, you'd like to see that, huh?
I think only reason he's actually not going to square off one-on-one with chest flexor is fear.
Oh, I'm sure.
Fear of his wrestling ability, and fear of the even bigger checkbook, even
Ted
bigger bank account.
DiBiase is a newly minted Hall of Famer. I don't think he has anything to worry about.
And chest flexor was a rising star.
Absolutely.
Soon to be Hall of Famer.
I'm going to question his mental health, but he's absolutely a rising star in IWC. He is a young lion here. He's certainly entertaining, for better or worse.
5 minutes gone by, 5 minutes.
Do you really think anybody's going to buy one of those chest flexor $1 Billion Man t-shirts that he's fighting for the right to sell?
There's a huge line. Look, can you see over there? There's a huge line for them right now.
That's to the pre-show autograph signing.
Oh, no. I can't think of a possible scenario where any single individual, wrestling fan or otherwise, wouldn't want a chest flexor t-shirt.
Yeah, really. Flexor with the side Russian leg sweep, now going to mount the turnbuckle. Flexor all the way to the top. High risk, will it be high reward? Oh no! Went for everything and found nothing. Nobody home on the elbow.
That ref better check him. He looks like he could be seriously injured, Joe.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And Kato, I know he came out and said he was the good guy, but I would never have expected him to be playing to the fans like this. I'm a little disappointed in Kato, to be honest with you.
I don't know if Kato necessarily wants the help of the fans, but he's darn sure going to use it. Get that second burst of adrenaline flowing through his veins and potentially mount a comeback here. Kato with the clothesline. Second time. Third time.
Kato, don't pander to these idiots, Kato.
Well, Kato's got to get a victory here. Kato's another guy who wants to climb the ladder here in IWC. He's a very able, cerebral veteran. He can do it, and the shirt's in trouble now.
Don't get too excited, Joe.
Flexor is going to be a shell of his former self before he even gets to DiBiase.
Chest flexor keeps losing clothes, and you keep getting a bigger smile on your face.
That's because chest flexor's getting some comeuppance. The red welts beginning to form on the chest of chest.
No pun intended, right?
Kato gonna settle this down.
That echoed throughout this gymnasium. Wow. Did you hear that, Dombrowski?
Absolutely did. Kato elevates flexor. The inverted atomic drop, supposed to target the tailbone. I think knowing Kato, he got a little more of that too.
It sure looks like it.
Kato elevates him. Side suplex, stomach breaker, but only got 2.
What a kick out by chest flexor.
Flexor's putting a lot of fight into this, but is he going to have enough left to guide the $1 Billion Bone Breakers? That's in just about an hour and a half of real time.
Don't you worry about the $1 Billion Bone Breakers, all right?
I gotta worry about chest flexor if he's involved. Flexor with the backcracker. Haven't seen that from him before, and that almost did it. And I don't think Kato was expecting that.
Another slow count, but imagine the night for chest flexor. If he wins here and the $1 Billion Bone Breakers win, probably one of the biggest nights of his life, I would have to say.
Without a doubt, but easier said than done. Flexor tried to set Kato up. Kato with a backslide. Flexor's shoulders are trapped. Kato bridges up and gets the win. Beautiful form by the veteran. It came down to a matter of veteran instincts and pinpoint technique that led Kato to winning the match over the leader of the $1 Billion Bone Breakers. I don't have high hopes for chest flexor's merchandise royalty check. Look at this. That's Leaping Lanny Poffo, the genius, on the way to the ring. We weren't expecting to start this off with Poffo. We were looking for his opponent, the Birdman, Koko Beware.
The genius had a devastating plan. You're looking at the future World Wrestling Federation, who appeals to the modern thinking fan. When I emerge victorious with gold around my waist, I shall be the most omnivorous of all. Don't tell me only 6'8" and I'm just 6'2". Between the years, I'm over 10 feet tall. He wants to wrap his 24-inch pythons around my neck and give his status, what you gonna do? I'm the power of the genius and the world's smartest man. I rely on my incredible IQ. Thank you.
Well, to be so smart, why isn't he talking about his opponent tonight?
He's a brilliant man. You know, I'm honored to be in the presence of the world's smartest man, the genius, and tonight the world's richest man, chest flexor.
I think Raven might have something to say about the smartest man. You know, he's a member of Mensa. Ring announcer Chuck Roberts making his way back to ringside as we're set to kick off this opening bout at Night of Legends. Leaping Lanny Poffo, a.k.a. the Genius.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leaping Lanny's opponent. Tell me one more time. From Union City, Tennessee, weighing in at 248 pounds, he's the Birdman, Poffo.
Listen to that crowd, Dombrowski.
And there's the Birdman! Koko Beware with energy and excitement on the way to the ring. Doesn't seem to have his longtime mascot Frankie, but I don't think Koko really needs Frankie to help him win a wrestling match, does he?
I don't know, he might. He is in there with the genius. Arguably the smartest man in the world, but inarguably the smartest wrestler in the world.
Oh. Well, Koko Beware is all about fun and having a good time. You gonna get up and do the bird, Mayor?
Maybe later, Joe, maybe later. I'm still pondering the depth and the insight in Leaping Lanny's poem. It actually brought a tear to my eye.
Well, he was talking about the wrong guy. Did you notice that part?
Yeah, I think he's playing mind games with Koko. He's making Koko feel insignificant.
He wrote a poem about Hulk Hogan.
Right, because that's going to get in Koko's head and say, this guy doesn't think so little of me that he's not even going to mention me in his poem. Oh.
Well,
it's above you, Joe.
Could have some psychological ramifications.
Real high-level brain stuff. You wouldn't get it.
Well, we'll see. But Koko Beware happy to be here in Franklin and happy to be kicking off this opening contest.
Fans seem to be pretty decidedly behind Koko, at least from the early indication I get, but the match hasn't started yet.
Any psychological advantage that poem may have garnered, I think is right out the window.
Yeah, we might be right, mainly because Koko's probably a little too dumb to even get the poem.
Oh, I don't believe that.
I do. Is he gonna leave that bird hat on while he wrestles? He is not. You think that's made of real bird?
No. Koko always famous for having a flashy hairstyle, flashy ring attire. Wouldn't expect anything less from the Birdman.
Now, do you have a favorite memory from each of these guys, Dombrowski?
Well, Koko, once the music cranked back on, Koko trying to direct some traffic here before action gets underway. I think he wants Chuck Roberts to do the bird.
You don't want to see him do the bird! You don't want to see him do the bird! You gotta do it too. Come on in here.
No, not gonna happen. No way.
Tonk may be a little tense for this.
He's got to do it.
Well, Tonk has escaped abuse for all 6 of these Legends nights, except for the time he punched Kingdom James, but I think that his luck is running out.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we're getting down in Franklin. I think Chuck's enjoying that a little too much, Dombrowski. Chuck's gonna need to take a Xanax to recover from that. Wow.
And just like that, the psychological edge that Lanny Poffo may have gained with that poem earlier on, not gonna happen anymore.
Although, Koko needs to worry a little less about the referee, about the ring announcer, and a little bit more on his opponent.
Well, that's for sure.
It's going to take Chuck an hour to get his hair back to the way
Koko
it
be
was.
careful not to embarrass his boss out here in front of 1,500 people like he just did.
That's a good point. If we don't see Koko Beware back in IWC, I think we know why.
What do you make of those pants Koko's got on?
They're awesome. I love them. Oh. But the only thing about Koko I love, but
I see. Leaping wants a handshake. I don't think we're going to get it.
a left-handed handshake.
You talk about favorite memories of these gentlemen, Leaping Lanny Poffo, the Birdman Koko Beware. Who could forget Lanny Poffo as the genius managing the late great Mr. Herbert Hennig? Who could forget him managing the Beverly Brothers? Kind of a name is Beverly anyway. Who could forget all of his matches in the mid-80s, really helping bring in a high-flying style into professional wrestling, into the mainstream. He was one of the very first men to use a moonsault on the national stage.
Actually, both of these guys are pioneers in that respect, that they were high flyers, and you know, they may be up there in age, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a little high flying tonight.
Koko, the native of Union City, Tennessee, before his days in the World Wrestling Federation, competed in the PYT Express in Memphis with Norvell Austin, and moved on, of course, to become the Birdman, and he's still got that rhythm. Who could forget Koko's entrance at WrestleMania 3? Who could forget high energy with the late Owen Hart? Koko, of course, a WWE Hall of Fame.
That's right. Inducted last year by the Honky Tonk Man, another legend on the show tonight.
Absolutely true. Bells finally sounded. We're officially underway. Of course, Poffo comes from a wrestling family. His father, Angelo Poffo, unfortunately passed recently, and Koko slipped right out of the side headlock. You might say Koko was outsmarted the genius.
I disagree. I think the genius let him slip out so he could turn that outsmarting right around back on Koko.
Of course.
I think it's pretty much impossible to outsmart the genius. Just accept it.
Game of
Accept
psychological one-upsmanship. Before this matchup, Lanny Poffo with one of his world-famous poems, the Poet Laureate of professional wrestling. Koko Beware down here, dancing just as much as ever, getting everybody to do the bird, including these fans, and Chuck Roberts as well. I saw you give me the bird earlier, but that was something entirely different.
That's right. Don't you forget it.
Oh,
okay. I think Lanny needs to cinch that headlock in a little bit tighter.
kind of upset Koko to come out here with Pile Driver. Koko sung the title track on Pile Driver, the wrestling album 2, back in 1987.
That's right.
Leaping now as Koko back into the corner, hammering away with the right hand.
You remember who the star of that Pile Driver video was, don't you?
It was Koko Beware.
No, it wasn't. It was the Honky Tonk Man. In the pink Cadillac with Jimmy Hart and Peggy Sue. The star, don't you forget it.
Well, there were a number of individuals in there. Arnie Skolin was in a Porta-John. What do you want from me? Koko Beware boxing the ears of Lanny Poffo. Poffo's in big-time trouble. We're not going to see that agility from either man, as you mentioned, that we once saw but they have the know-how. And Koko sends Poffo out of the corner, landed hard on the back, and it's all the Birdman right now.
It's like that song, I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. Just because these two are a little older in age than they were whenever most of these fans saw them in their prime, doesn't mean for a big night, a special night like Night of Legends, you're not going to see some aerial tactics. You
never know what you're going to see from these legends, such a diverse group of individuals. You mentioned the Honky Tonk Man, Brutus, Beefcake. For the first time in the history of Franklin, Pennsylvania, some extreme legends here from ECW as Raven takes on the franchise Shane Douglas. Talking to Raven earlier today, he referred to Shane Douglas as the French fries. I don't see any respect there.
Wow. That's going to get ugly, that match. And we're just getting warmed up, Dombrowski. It's going to be a good night.
Lanny Poffo dictating the pace here.
Rocky Grove High School was packed to the rafters, Joe.
You got to believe Poffo not begging off here. He's trying to lure Koko into something.
I would give the size and strength advantage to Poffo.
Wait a second. I give another advantage to Poffo. Some kind of object in his right hand he just pulled out of his trunks.
That's bullcrap, Dombrowski. He was adjusting his trunks. It happens whenever you're involved in athletic activities. You wouldn't know.
What are you trying to say about Mr. Poffo?
He was adjusting himself. Let's just leave it at that.
I see. Poffo, using something, just dug it right into the eyes of Koko and hiding it in the back of his trunks.
I'm not so sure about
What's
that.
he adjusting back there?
Why, his trunks again. Why can't you just give a man credit? Why can't you give credit where it's due? The genius has the clear advantage.
Does he?
Stick a fork in Koko as far as I see it.
We'll see about that. Poffo punishing Koko Beware, keeping this matchup grounded. And again with that foreign object.
Again, a smart strategy. Like I said, Koko's the aerial master. To keep the action right there on the ground is probably the best thing that a leaping Lanny Poffo could do. Wear him down and then go hit one of those aerial maneuvers of his own is what I'm predicting.
And why is Lanny Poffo wearing a t-shirt? I wouldn't put it past me or past him and a metal plate under there. You never know.
You never know. If he did and he's hiding it with a shirt, I would consider that quite intelligent. Again, he's the genius.
He is.
You know, we were talking about how excited we are to see Leaping Lanny Poffo, the genius, the world's smartest wrestler, and not just the world's smartest wrestler, the world's smartest person, I believe. And a little bit, chest flexor, the world's richest person. Joe, your thoughts?
Chest flexor is a sad case that is beyond help. Hopefully, though,
the jealousy and the envy is just dripping off of you. You would like to have a bank account just a fraction of the size of chest flexor.
Flexor's in dreamland as it is. It may take $1 million dream to snap him back into reality. One can only hope. I'm excited to see wrestling superstar Virgil. I don't know about you.
Oh, Virgil's one of the greatest legends of all time.
I hope he finds that Nurgle guy and knocks him out.
You know, you and your Nurgle.
Look at Poffo again digging into the trunks. Can't see what the object is. He's keeping it concealed from everybody.
Fans listening.
Our monitors are official, and of course Koko. Could be a roll of quarters, could be a sharpened piece of metal.
Or it could be nothing.
It's not nothing. Well, what's he digging into Koko's face now, then?
It's his fist. It's a wrestling match.
Which a closed fist is illegal. Poffo hiding something else.
It was his palm.
Oh.
It was an open-handed slap type of maneuver. That was not in any way a slap.
Oh boy, how often you change your story? Glenn Beck's probably a big fan of you.
Did you see Koko just tap out?
He did not.
This rap sucks.
Koko's not going to quit on your life. Poffo with the reverse chin lock, cutting off the blood supply to the brain via the carotid artery.
These idiots clapping. Koko's done. Stick a fork in him.
What's wrong with clapping?
Trying to give energy to Mr. High Energy himself, Koko Beware, but when he's back up, I gotta admit I'm surprised.
Koko elbows his way free. Poffo, too much weight. Poffo dropped on top, got a near fall.
I told you Poffo has the size and strength advantage, in addition to the intelligence advantage.
Another knockdown, another cover, a near fall. Almost got the win, did Leaping.
Does he prefer to be called the Genius or Leaping Lanny these days?
I'm not really sure. I think they go one and the same. Each persona was a master of poetry, master of the human game of chess, so to speak, to coin a phrase from another of our legends scheduled tonight. Koko got to get back up to the vertical base here to alleviate the pressure. Right hand by Poffo. Second time. What Koko, inside cradle, counters the slam, the cradle, but near fall. Poffo keeps himself out of harm's way. If only for a moment, but Koko, beware, has some momentum right now. Can he follow through on it?
Never count the Genius out, remember that.
Swinging neckbreaker by Koko. Thought he might have been going for the Ghostbuster for a minute, but instead of swinging neckbreaker, that might be a slap in the face to Honky Tonk, but Leaping gets the foot on the bottom rope.
I'm gonna have to make sure Honky Tonk Man knows about that.
Koko and Honky, two Tennessee natives, they go way back.
They do indeed.
Now, is that a tribute or an insult? We're not really sure.
It's a tribute to the Honky Tonk Man, at least.
Very well could be. Honky inducting Koko into the Hall of Fame. Both Koko and Leaping Lanny had the same idea in mind. They knocked each other down. But if neither one is up by 10, we have a count out.
I just said never count out Lanny Poffo.
Well, we're going to try right now.
Koko tapping out again.
10 minutes gone by, 10 minutes.
Did you see that, Dombrowski? What? Koko's tapping the mat. He tapped out.
He's not even in a hole. Koko's doing the burn here. He's trying to get himself revved up. The spirit of Frankie is right by his side. And Koko with the right hands. And Poffo, I think he's running out of gas. Enough brains to get out of the way. Koko went to quicken the tempo, and that would have spelled lights out for Poffo.
And Leaping Lanny's going up. This is where he's most dangerous, Dombrowski.
This could be the moonsault. Leaping Lanny Poffo. He hits the moonsault, but Koko got a knee up.
To anyone who doubted that Leaping Lanny still had some aerial moves, what do you have to say now?
Beautifully done by Leaping Lanny Poffo.
And give me credit where it's due. Koko had enough wherewithal to get his knees up.
But was that all Leaping Lanny had left?
No, a reversal.
Koko, DDT. Poffo's down. Cover. Koko gets the win.
Here is your winner, Koko.
I'm disappointed in the outcome, but wow, am I impressed. What an opening match.
Leaping Lanny Poffo, after all these years, breaks out the moonsault, but Koko, beware, was a step ahead, got the knee up, got the DDT, and the Birdman is victorious in our first of many Regent bouts tonight. And it's time for all of Franklin to celebrate by doing the bird.
Put your arms down, Dombrowski. You look like an idiot.
Koko's gonna eat him.
Let's leave the dancing to Koko, kids.
Everybody having a great time. Franklin, Pennsylvania, 9/11.
Introducing to the first, Gory, weighing in
ovation for the man from the Bowery. Raven on the way to the ring, a master of psychological mind games entering in this extreme matchup.
This is my prediction for match of the night, Dombrowski. These two are legends, but you know, they're basically both still in their prime. I think we're going to see a knockdown, drag-out brawl.
Raven is always ornery, he's always in a bad mood, and the introduction of his opponent is not going to help that out one bit. Two men with a rich history here all over professional wrestling. The franchise Shane Douglas was named the head of wrestling operations by Chuck Roberts at the start of this year to help run the IWC day-to-day operations in our locker room with our talent.
Pennsylvania, right down the road from the greatest city in the world, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Mixed reaction to Pittsburgh.
To my neighbors, I'm going to do a little favor for you tonight. I'm going to bring out another legend for you to see. He's the guy that trained two of the greatest wrestlers of the last 20 years. Yours truly, and Mick Foley. You train two guys like that, you left the legacy of this business. But more so than that, he's been the World Tag Team Champions more times than I got fingers on my hand. Ladies and gentlemen, a true living legend. I give you the trainer of the franchise, Shane Douglas, and Mankind, Mick Foley. Ladies and gentlemen, Dominic Benucci.
Wow, another legend.
Dominic Benucci, a major star in Madison Square Garden throughout the Northeast in the 1970s into the 1980s. A long-standing relationship with Bruno Sammartino and fantastic in-ring trainer.
That's right. You know, the people are on their feet right now applauding as a sign of respect for showing for Dominic Benucci.
Unadvertised surprise is Dominic Benucci here tonight. Doesn't really fit the whole Extreme Legends match mold, but certainly without Dominic, there would be no franchise Shane Douglas.
That's true.
I'm going to ask you fans what you want to see. You want to see a great wrestling match? The Frank and I can certainly do that. As the director of wrestling operations here at IWC, I wasn't booked for this show, but Chuck, you know, as soon as I saw Raven's name on it, I said, there's unfinished business in a little company you might have heard of called ECW.
Despite being tarnished in recent years, the legacy will never die.
Well, there's ECW and there's the real ECW, as we know. That's what Shane Douglas is talking about.
We're not here in the business anymore, but thank God for companies like IWC finally starting to bring some class back to the wrestling business. You fans tell me what you want. Do you want a great wrestling match, or do you want a hardcore match? A great wrestling match? Or a hardcore match?
I think Night of Legends is going to go extreme, Dombrowski.
I think it may.
If you give me a chant of ECW, a ICW that rocks this roof off, I'll make sure you get a hardcore match with the franchise. Let me hear it. Come on, ICW!
It's happening in here, Dombrowski.
I guess we've officially successfully fused ECW and IWC, and those are the letters we get.
Exactly.
For the franchise Shane Douglas.
You know what I like about the franchise?
Uh-oh.
Absolutely not. I was going to say nothing, but if you can still like punchline, I won't use it. What I like about it is a couple things.
about that. He is right.
People are rented. Some bathing, perhaps. Showers. The bad body odor would climb each and every one of you at the electric chair. Now, before I might not even do a hardcore match. It might be like a softcore match, and that'll be about it. And I'll get my paycheck and go home. But before that, because of you people, most of you were too cheap to spend for the to see the big stars in private, there was a little raffle I had, and the winner of the raffle gets a Ring and Warren Raven shirt, and since this is my opportunity on microphone, I might as well pick that name out there. I'll pick it out there. Yeah, it'll work there.
Raven doing an impromptu raffle in the beginning of this match.
153-011. Who's the winner? Is it? Alright, I didn't bring your shirt out until I got a wrestle, so I'll go with you after the match and I'll bring you your prize possession, a Ring and Warren Raven shirt. Hey, that's a pretty nice 50 item that you can eBay for thousands of dollars. Now, what do you got here? You bring your grandpa out to the matches?
Oh, come on, don't disrespect Dominic DeMarco.
Don't you agree with me? How dare you? I was going to say I used to watch you on TV as a kid. I used to watch you on TV when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Hey, calm down. He don't look like a kid. He looked like an old sucker.
Dominic won't back down, even at his advanced age.
That's for sure.
He's in his 70s.
You're lucky you're good friends with Bruno. I'd kick your ass.
Dominic's ready to fight.
Wait a minute.
And, you know, as much as I like Raven, my money might be on Dominic.
Match, so we can't have one. I don't want you getting in. Although I'd be more than happy to fight you, but I don't want to get you hurt and signing lawsuits and so forth in there. So, where do I get the microphone back to?
Oh, Raven. Oh. Distracted Shane Douglas. Took Shane off his game, off his guard.
You called it. Raven is the master of mind games. That was a great example right there.
Intentionally ended that interview very abruptly and just slingshots the franchise right into the corner. And Shane Douglas has the power to make matches here in IWC. Shane has made this a hardcore match, and it looks like Raven is going to oblige. Both men former multiple-time ECW World Heavyweight Champions. They had a rivalry in TNA as well. Shane Douglas directly responsible for the shaving of Raven's head about 6 years ago.
That's right.
And this is going to be a tough view for us. Tony F at dhvideos.com is going to get a good shot, but we're going to be behind hundreds and hundreds of heads to watch this hardcore rules matchup.
Well, as you know, hardcore rules matches generally spill out onto the floor. That's what's happening right now. I can't see what's going on, but I can hear the thud of flesh on flesh, metal on flesh.
Well, the franchise getting help from these fans to strike Raven. It's all legal, as Raven being sent to the ringside guardrail. And it's all franchise right now, all the director of wrestling operations for IWC.
And Raven didn't do himself any favors by running his mouth the way he did earlier, especially disrespecting a legend like Dominic DeMarco. You know as well as I do that Shane Douglas thinks of Dominic DeMarco almost like a father.
Oh, absolutely.
I guarantee you, not only was Dominic insulted, but I'm sure Shane Douglas took that as a personal insult as well.
Raven hits the guardrail. Shane's always been a rebel throughout his entire career, but he does have respect to those that he feels has earned it. And Dominic's one of them. And it's all legal as Dominic takes a shot at Raven.
I know it's anything goes, but come on, 2-on-1. That's uncalled for.
Well, Raven could have brought some help out here.
He doesn't need help, Dombrowski.
Raven used the help of the middle rope, and that was enough. Kicking it right into the groin of the franchise Shane Douglas.
Again, all legal in an Extreme Rules match. And Dombrowski, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first Extreme Rules match we've ever had on a Legends show.
Well, that would be correct, at least officially.
Right, we did have Abdullah the Butcher, but that never actually was an official match, I don't think.
Well, that was a no contest. Raven's been thrown a chair by one of the ringside fans, and we know Raven is deadly with a chair. Drop toe hold. Cover, 2, and near fall.
Wow, you talk about close. I thought the match was over right there.
I really don't want to say this, but that's vintage Raven. Raven sets the chair up into the corner. To send the franchise in. No, Shane reverses and Raven hits the chair.
And you could hear the thud of Raven's spine hitting that chair all the way back here.
And Raven goes downstairs again on Douglas.
That's a great way to turn the tide. Even if you're behind in a wrestling match, that's a great equalizer. It either has to be an Extreme Rules match or you have to make sure the ref doesn't see it.
And Shane Douglas has been neutralized by Raven. Raven, the only man to have an action figure in 4 different national promotions, you know that?
I did not know that, but he certainly has been in every major promotion that is in existence today and in years past.
Veteran of over 20 years is Raven. I'm not even sure if the franchise and Raven really met that many times in ECW, but certainly with the legacy of ECW here and bragging rights as far as who is really the top guy there, there's a lot of egotism going on in this ring right now.
And that bad blood trickled over into TNA, as you
Absolutely.
mentioned.
It's hard to argue which of these two was the better ECW World Champion.
I have to go with Raven.
Well, the franchise, he lived up to his name for so many years. Who can forget Raven roll-up? Raven's classic feuds with Tommy Dreamer, the Sandman. Took Dreamer 2 years to pin Raven. After 2 years of trying, he finally did it on Raven's final night in the company. Raven with a clothesline for 2 endo.
When Shane Douglas was ECW champ, I was a big fan, but these days he seems to cater to these idiotic fans.
Well, that's his job. He's the director of wrestling operations here. We saw Shane get into a bit of a tiff with Bubba the Bulldog a couple months ago. Haven't seen Bubba since. I don't think that's an accident. I think Shane neutralized that incident.
Shane certainly has power here in IWC.
We saw Shane referee that matchup at kickoff on DVD. That crazy hardcore rules match between Shiima Xion and Jimmy DeMarco for the IWC title.
That's right.
Shane elbows free from Raven's grasp. The franchise with the low blow. Shane Douglas digging down into those dirty tricks. Raven sent for the ride. The Raven effect. Or the even flow. By any name, it gets the job done. No!
Wow.
Douglas kicked out of the Raven effect.
Not too many people have kicked out of the even flow DDT, aka the Raven effect.
It kept Dreamer down for 2 years. It cost the Sandman ECW titles.
There's the second one.
It won Raven hardcore titles, US titles, tag titles. This has got to be it. Raven. No.
No way.
The franchise reverses the rate. Wait. And Shane Douglas won it. The franchise victorious.
Give credit where it's due. Kicking out of 2 DDTs from Raven. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
That's surreal.
Wow. Well, go to Browski. I have to go and have a special meeting with Lord Zoltan to get ready for our matchup. So I'm going to have to leave you here, but
I'm sorry to hear
sure
that.
you'll be able to handle it on your own just fine.
I'll do my best. We thank Mayor Mystery for joining us.
And fans, don't worry, I will be back. I will be back.
We thank Dominic Canucci for joining us as well. Franchise Shane Douglas, Dominic Canucci have a victory and a hell of a moment here in Franklin. Great win. What's next for the director of IWC Wrestling Operations, the franchise Shane Douglas?